listeners, like, that's what I decided I was going to do to close out the evening. So I decided to do another stream about Clarissa Shields. She is really a troubled individual, and it's just to the point now you're concerned and you worried about her well-being as she continues to just fall into the bottomless pit of just insecurity and ignorance, and sitting up here basically blaming everything that's going wrong in her life on men, instead of looking in the mirror and asking herself, what is she doing wrong? What is she not doing to better her career and boost her popularity? Well, one thing that's not helping is her constantly going on social media, ranting and raving and crying about the sparring session, and then sitting up here threatening people and just talking real reckless and silly. And it's just to the point nobody's buying what she's selling. She just keeps making these absurd and ridiculous and baseless comments about men being mentally weak and all this stuff, and intimidated by the strong woman. First of all, ain't nobody intimidated by you one way or another. First of all, nobody would be scared of Clarissa Shields if they seen her walk in the street. Nobody's gonna run. Nobody's gonna take cover unless she has some kind of weapon or something. Nobody's scared of Clarissa Shields. So nobody's in it. And that's one of the things that has really pissed me off, and particularly about women in our community. This black man or man is intimidated by a strong woman. Ain't nothing strong about her, because she's constantly getting on social media. What's up, man? The homie Basido boxing in the house, man. Shout out to that brother. Hey, Basido, man. I'm gonna get at you. I'm gonna get at you, dude, because we gonna get together, man, about getting you in these fights and stuff. So because at the end of the day, I'm not finna continue to go to all these fights. So we gonna link up, man. We gonna come with a plan, because I got a couple of correspondence. So I'll be more than happy to help you, get established and get into these fights. So we'll put it together. I know you like in Indiana or something like that, but we'll get together, man. We'll put it together. We'll figure something out. But anyway, I just had to say this about Clarissa Shields. Shout out to my boy Basido Boxing. Real good content. The boy is fire. You know what I'm saying? For real. But I just had to say this, man, because somebody got to say this about Clarissa Shields, man. I'm to the point I don't give a damn about, and I'm gonna say this again. Nobody cares, Clarissa Shields, if you decide not to do interviews or you're not going to talk to them. I remember what you did in New York when you rolled your eyes at me, which I didn't give a fuck. Nobody cares. You just continue to just say stupid stuff. What man is holding you back? Your biggest supporters have been men. But you just have this vitriol for men or something that's basically, that might be some internal stuff that's going on with you. But now I see why, and I'm trying not to get personal, but you making it personal by basically finger pointing at men and blaming us for your downfall, for your wrongdoing, because you don't know how to properly market yourself. Clarissa, get you a publicist. Get you, you know what I'm saying, a PR person. If you need help, I'll help you find one. I'll get you a manager. I got that kind of hookup. But at the end of the day, you need to look in the mirror and look at yourself and ask you what you doing. You saying these ridiculous things on social media. You sitting up talking about you gonna pull up on Roller, you about that life. You ain't about nothing. You ain't about that life. And stop acting like you gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit. And you just need to be hit with a harsh dose of reality. You can't do nothing with Rolly. No way, shape, or form. You mad because a video surfaced of you getting laid out. Then now you talking all this stuff about the gloves were altered, but you the same person that dismissed the whole notion when Deontay Wilder said that Tyson Fury had altered gloves. Now you did the, cut it off gesture and all that kind of stuff, but now all of a sudden you want us to believe that this dude had altered gloves. No, he just caught you and laid you out. And then people heard you talking all this junk. You keep talking about you be whooping men's asses and sparring. Everybody knows they've been told to go back, go back and roll it back a little bit, like those sales at Walmart. Hold back a little bit because they don't want to put you in the hospital or in the morgue. You got folded and you had on headgear. And you sitting up trying to get us to believe that you can beat Jake Paul or Rolly or Keith Thurman in a fight. If Keith Thurman hits you flush, he's probably going to kill you. Or you're going to be a vegetable. You're going to end up like Pritchard Cologne. And then you sitting up having these interviews telling people that you believe you can beat 98% of the man in the world. And what? Tweeting? What? Typing? What? Bicycling? I hope you don't mean fighting. You can't even beat 30% of the man on this planet, let alone 98%. And that's insulting. And you flat out disrespecting men. The only person that's weak is you, because you sitting up here crying about a sparring session that happened in 2018, and you embarrassed because you sit up here talking this stuff about you the GOAT. And by the way, who said you was the GOAT? Who said you was the greatest woman of all time? You? And shout out to my man Jay for bringing that up. Who made you the GOAT? Frances Cress Welsing was the greatest black woman, arguably, that ever walked the face of the earth. She might be the GOAT. God rest her soul. You ain't even Maya Angelou. You ain't Shirley Chisholm. You ain't none of them people. See, now you didn't piss people off. You didn't piss a lot of people off with your foolishness, because that's all you talking. And like I said before, Claressa, ain't nobody worried about you. Ain't nobody worried about your fake smoke and you about that life. What life you about? What, having somebody from your family sucker punch somebody who sucker punched a 60-plus-year-old man in the back of the head, not to mention that he screwed up your fight, fucked up your money. That's who you should be mad at, and ran off. I don't know what the hell going on with you, but you need to stop it. You ain't the GOAT of shit. Yeah, I said it. And somebody could send this video to her. And I'm not worried about her responding. I ain't worried. You ain't going to pull up on me. And I'm not challenging you to anything. Just knock it off. I'm going to be honest with you, Claressa. You really think you could do something with just the average man? You talking about you going to pull up on something? You about, what, 5'6"? You only got 2 knockouts. You feather-fisted. You ain't even going to hurt no dude. So you gonna mess around and you going to get what you looking for. And hopefully you don't end up in the upper room. All this stuff that you talking, you need to go sit down, or you need to go see a shrink, because you talking ridiculous. 98% of the men. Okay, like I said, that's just insulting. That's just disrespectful. Flat out. I'm gonna just be completely honest, and she could take it however you want. Claressa, if you listening to this video, which I don't care, because like I said, I don't need your interview. Fuck an interview with you. And that's just real talk. If you lined up 15 men and put them in the ring with Claressa Shields, just the average height of probably 5'9", 180 pounds, and just said no gloves, just fight, Claressa Shields ain't gonna even make it to the 5th guy. What you gonna do if somebody just grab you by your weeb? That boxing stuff ain't gonna work in an actual fight. Because more than likely the dude is gonna be bigger than you. He gonna be faster. He gonna be stronger. What you gonna do if a dude just grab you and pick you up in the air and just drop you on your back? You gonna seriously get hurt. But you sitting up here acting like you won't smoke with every man in the world. Whatever, I'm gonna be honest with you. Whoever hurt you or whatever going, what what's ever going through your mind, you need to fix that. Because lashing out at all men, and in particularly trying to constantly emasculate black men, now I see why you by yourself. I'm not going to get too personal, but since you're trying to get personal and saying that men are intimidated and weak, well, if men are intimidated and weak, it's because of this generation of black women. Now we have undisputable, undeniable proof that a black woman cannot raise a black boy to be a man. So it may be some validity to what you're saying. Maybe this generation men is weak, but guess whose fault it is? For y'all running off the fathers and thinking that y'all are more men than us, and you're not. And I think you disrespecting your father to a certain degree, who, if I'm not mistaken, took you to the gym. You need to go lay on a couch. You are delusional. You hearing voices. You got the, you know what I'm saying? You got the white angel and the, you know what I'm saying? You got the white angel on one shoulder or in the red angel on the other one. Or you might have them on both shoulders, but you tripping. You sound like you are out of your mind. And somebody just need to say this. Somebody just need to say this. I'm not playing. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not playing these fucking political games no more. I'm not playing this, I'm not playing these games no more. Not tonight. Not today. Not finna be politically correct. What part that you don't understand? In all likelihood, you a man, you a woman, and God made it that way for the most part, for men to be stronger than women. Fine, you can box. I'm glad you love boxing. Nobody has held you back. Like I said, when you first came out of the Olympics, most of the people that were talking about you were men, and particularly black men. And keep in mind, the same black man that you be sneak dissing is the same black man that was defending your black ass when you was crying about Steve Kim harassing you. That was getting on Steve Kim's helmet, but you made it look like Steve Kim was the victim and you was the perpetrator. Like I said, you're delusional. You delusional. And I'm trying to be nice by saying you delusional. I don't know who you talking to. I don't know who filling your head up with this nonsense, but they are killing your career. Your career is about to sink into the Pacific Ocean or whatever ocean, wherever you at. Maybe you didn't drunk too much of that dirty ass fucked up water in Flint or something. Maybe that's affected your brain and your logic of how you thinking. All you do is sit up here and tear down the very people that sat up there and was riding for you and supporting you, which was men, and particularly black men, were your biggest supporters. You on that Cynthia G shit, and look what happened to her ass. Finally, they kicked her ass off of YouTube. Now she's resorted to going on other people's platforms. Same thing, Cynthia G. When she first came about, her biggest supporters were black men. Then all of a sudden, she just did a 360-degree switch up where all of a sudden she started making these videos attacking black men. And the funny thing was, black men were the ones that put her on. Tariq Nasheed, Phil, Dr. Boris Watkins, a couple of other people were the ones that put her on. And what they got in return is for her to just sit up there and make these videos attacking and tearing down black men. And then got knocked up by the very type of nigga she told people to stay away from. Go figure. So, like I said before, I'm trying to keep you from, I'm dropping the mic on your ass. I'm trying to keep you from self-destructing, because eventually ain't nobody gonna listen to you. You're gonna walk around one day, just be walking around, you're gonna go somewhere and nobody's gonna notice you. Nobody's not gonna want to interact with you. Nobody's not gonna want to talk to you. Look what's going on with Malika Andrews. Now all of a sudden she playing victim, but then she victimized and disrespected and demonized all those black athletes. But then when the white boy was accused of something, all of a sudden she didn't have nothing to say. Now she want to play victim. Oh, why are people booing me? Why do they hate me? You know why they booing you. You know why they don't like your ass. And then you don't even identify as black. And then you got some of these goofy ass destitute black women on this fake sisterhood movement trying to make us feel bad about getting at you. But y'all can go to hell too. Y'all can go to hell too. That's just real talk. Black men ain't taking this crap no more. You're not finna make us feel bad about defending ourselves. You can make all the catchphrases you want, get on social media and say we're this, we're that. You're not finna make us feel guilty anymore about defending ourselves and putting up with your shit. We ain't putting up with y'all shit no more. We gonna defend ourselves. You get out of pocket, you gonna get put back in the pocket. Now, how you get put back in pocket is up to you. And I'm not talking about violence. So don't try to say I'm talking about violence. I'm just saying. Like I said, every time, this lady can't go 2 days without just saying something stupid. Oh, shout out to my boy, man, Real Boxing Facts. Subscribe to this channel. That's my homie, Big Rich. So subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to my boy, Basito Boxer. So on the real. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. You could ask anybody. I don't talk to Claressa Shields, and like I said before, nobody don't need your interview. It's not like they gonna get 100,000 views anyway, because you don't say nothing of importance anyway. All you do is sit up there and just cry about how you ain't getting the attention that you think you deserve. Maybe if you would stop complaining, maybe if you would stop whining, and maybe if you would stop playing the victim and take some accountability, maybe people would rally behind you. Maybe people would want to interact with you. Nobody don't want to hear that stuff. You sitting up here attacking the very people that help get you to where you are today. There wasn't no women writing articles about you. There wasn't hardly no women writing articles. Most of the people that was talking about you coming out of the Olympics, winning your second gold medal, were men, black men. And don't think for a second we don't know who you referring to when you say men. You may say men in general, but we know you secretly talking about the brothers. We know who you're referring to. And it's kind of hypocritical. You sitting up here talking about altered gloves, but like I said, you you basically waved off the fact that it could be something to what Deontay Wilder. You was sitting up there, had your little Kool-Aid smile and all this kind of stuff. And then, like I said, you the one that should be mad. You know what I'm saying? You should have watched out. You should have watched out for that check hook. And like I said, had you not had on headgear, no telling what would have happened to you. But you sit up making these videos. I could hold my own with men. Everybody knows they've been told to hold back on you because they don't want to hurt you. Everybody knows that. They don't want to hurt your ass. But like I said, you keep knocking on the devil's door, eventually he gonna answer with his pitchfork and his horns. You know, you gonna paint the town red like Doja Cat. Keep doing that. You keep talking all this stuff about you could do this to man, you could do that to man. And I'm not saying that I want something to happen to you, but you go, I know how this works. You gonna run across that dude, you gonna run across that nigga. That ain't gonna be trying to hear none of that stuff. Might not even know who you is. And like I said, I don't want to see you get hurt. I even when I go in the gym and practice, go and practice. I won't go near a woman. I won't entertain the thought of even sparring with a woman. And then sometimes, a lot of times, these women, they try to get slick too. They think that you know what I'm saying, that you giving it your all and stuff, and some of them will try to get real physical with you. And I seen something similar happen to somebody that, what happened to Rissa Shields. The dude had to warn her, but he said, "Hey, look, you you getting a little too rough there. I know what you're trying to do. Now, if I go full throttle, you gonna regret it." And she backed off. But I'm just saying, I don't want nothing to happen to Claressa Shields, but it's really looking like it's headed towards that direction. Obviously, she wake up in the morning, she's angry at herself, somebody, or something. But she need to knock it off for her own sake. Nobody's buying what she's selling. Nobody buying what she's selling. I'm sorry. She can't sell ice water to a polar bear. She can't sell fire to the devil. And she can't sell red wine to a vineyard. That's just real talk. Cause ain't nobody buying what she's selling. And that's just the bottom line. And I'm not knocking any type of boxer, but like I said, the average run of the mill boxer, if she was to get in the ring and they have 3 minute rounds and it's a 4 round fight and they got on 8 ounce gloves, she ain't gonna make it to. And let's just say, okay, she fight at what, middleweight? Well, she fight at 160, and let's just say they just put let's just say, for argument's sake, they put somebody like Amari Jones in there. And I'm not sorry, Amari. I'm just using it as an example. Amari, you the homie. Amari Jones fights at 160. It doesn't matter whether Claressa Shields got more professional fight. And let's just say it's no headgear. Claressa Shields is going to be out cold in less than a minute if he goes full thrust. He may toy with her, jab with her a little bit, and then you got to understand something. It don't matter who you fighting. It don't matter whether it's a man or a woman. A lot of times you just gonna have that knee-jerk reaction. Somebody hits you flush, like some woman punch you in the face, you gonna throw that gender shit out the door. You gonna just have a knee-jerk reaction because somebody then punched you. Then you gonna swing back. It's a knee-jerk reaction. So all this stuff about you need to show restraint and all that kind of stuff, and it's never an excuse to do this and do that. That is just complete cap. It's always been cap. And only suckers and simps and dudes that ain't getting no pussy talk like that. Like I said before, when people say, "Oh, it's never an excuse," so like I said before, so if a woman coming at me with a knife, or she got a gun and she busting at me, she coming at me with a knife, she trying to hit me with a baseball bat, she trying to hit me in the head with a hammer and puncture my skull till I bleed out, I'm not supposed to do nothing. I'm supposed to sit up there and get deleted because of her gender. That's the most absurd thing that it's just stupid. It's a fake catchphrase. For real. It's a fake cliche. That doesn't make any kind of sense. You think I'm not going to defend myself? Is you crazy? I'm talking about all bets are off. I'm just keeping it a buck. I ain't going to see no gender. I ain't going to see no race. Look, they going to get that work. I'm just keeping. I won't, man, please tell me that I'm telling the truth. If some woman coming at you with a knife or a gun, or she trying, or something, some type of weapon that could take your life, you mean to tell me you gonna sit up there and die because of her gender? Tell me you ain't gonna defend yourself. Like I said, she gonna get that work. If it come down to me or her, then it's gonna be her ass. To just sit up there and hear people talk that fake notion, for real. I don't know about y'all, but if y'all want to sit up there and get laid out because it's a woman, that's on y'all. And people gonna look at y'all like you stupid. They're gonna say, hey, well, Big Tone ain't here no more because basically, you know, he refused to defend himself against a woman who had a knife. So she stabbed him 48 times. All that's gonna happen is when the police get here, it's gonna be like, hey, she came at me with a knife. I defended myself. She out of here. Call the coroner. That's real. Get her up out of here before she starts to decompose. Because like I said, she gonna get that work. So it's just ridiculous. And that's what I'm trying to say about Claressa Shields. She's going to, like I said, she's asking for it. And then you don't think it's some dude reading her tweet, thinking to himself, okay, she thinks she tough. She need to get, you know what I'm saying? She thinks she tough. So here's the thing. If you keep inviting people to come your way and try you, well, they're going to try you. How many times did you hear that cornball, that rat talk about test my gangster? How many times you heard Charleston White inviting people to run up on him? Now all of a sudden they run up on him, they rush the stage. Now all of a sudden he's shook and trying to act like he ain't shook, talking about he may do some different thing. You went to do a show with no security. You sat up there, you only about 5'7", 50 pounds, and you sitting up there talking that big boy stuff. Then you throw, a flower pot at the dude, and they get on stage. Then you sitting up there talking about, you didn't have a mark on you. Dude, everybody's seen that video of you getting stomped. Everybody's seen it. It's an L accepted. We all saw the footage. Just accepted. That's an L. Listen, I done took L's. We all done took L's. I'm just saying, man. I'm talking about Charleston White. I'm just saying Charleston White talking all that big boy stuff. I don't see you inviting people to listen, at the end of the day, when I walk these streets, I mind my own business. When I go cover these fights, I mind my own business. I don't even you don't see me telling people to run up on me. I said that if you try to run up on me, I'm willing to defend myself up to lethal force. I'm not saying I want to do it, but I will do it. That's all I'm saying. I said I'm willing to use up to lethal force to protect me. But most of the time, I don't have no problems when I cover these fights. I'm out in the open. Everybody used every excuse in the book. I was scared to show my face. I didn't show my face on videos. I didn't show myself hitting the heavy bags and all that kind of stuff. It was cap. So I don't even pay attention to trolls. But at the same time, I'm always on alert. When I'm in public, when I'm doing these fights, I don't usually like to take pictures, but every once in a while, if somebody asks to take a picture, if it's more than one of them, I take their camera and take the picture myself because I don't like nobody standing behind me because it's always that clown that's clout chasing. That'll try to film himself trying to, trying you and stuff. So, I'm just saying, but I always proceed with caution, but that's all I'm saying. But I'm saying as far as Claressa Shields goes, she just inviting stuff to come her way. She need to knock it off. She need to stop talking that delusional stuff. She, what I'm saying? It's like that song by Guy. It's just a fantasy. And the fantasy is in her head. I guess she be having these elaborate dreams when she, what I'm saying? When she go to sleep her and dreaming that she, that she Popeye, she didn't, ate her spinach and stuff. And she just got these massive arms and she grabbing dudes and slinging them and all this stuff. Like, like, she just need to stop it. She need to be saved from herself. And that's all I'm saying about her. No, you know what I'm saying? She need to hear this. And where's all these feminists at? It look like she on an island of her own. I don't see these female boxers backing her up because they probably don't want no part of this. At the end of the day, most of this boxing media stuff is men. They have women boxing content creators, but for the most part, it's men. Even when I go cover these fights, yeah, they have female boxing reporters, but for the most part, it's men. And you would want to be on the good side of your target audience because at the end of the day, boxing is primarily known for being a male dominated sport. Female boxing is on the rise, which is good. Nobody is holding these women back. I did several interviews with Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgardner. I'm one of the dudes that's been pushing for these women to get to fight 3-minute rounds. But at the same time, as far as the money go, they got to put in their work. They got to put in their work just like everybody else. And that's all we saying. I think that's in the near future, Jay. That's the problem. But I'm worried about how it comes. Because, like I said, when she was sitting up there talking about she'd pull up on Rolly and she'd beat Rolly's ass, almost stop it. Stop it. Rolly may be a lot of things, but the boy can hit hard. And I don't think Claressa Shields is gonna be able to survive a full thrust punch from Rolly. He hits hard. Same thing I was saying about Jake Paul. You put Jake Paul in the ring with Claressa Shields and he hit her, he gonna knock her ass out, and then people gonna be I mean, he gonna have a hard time getting out the arena. Nobody is entertaining the thought of this. Nobody. Nobody is entertaining the thought of this. That's why Keith Thurman ain't even thinking about her. Like I said before, I think it's insulting for her to even say that she could beat Keith Thurman. Beat Keith Thurman how? And then she got mad when somebody said, you only got 2 knockouts. Well, I just said I'll box him. How? You're not going to have a strength advantage. You're not going to probably have a speed advantage. And I'm going to tell you something. With Claressa Shields, I'm sure my man Basito Bosch can tell you, Claressa Shields, a lot of times she load up when she throw her punches. So sometimes you can see those punches coming. You seen what dude did. He just got under the punch, and then he hit her with the check hook, and then she was down. And he really didn't hit her hard with it. And like I said, probably if she didn't have on no headgear, she would have been in serious trouble. You see, she was laid on the ground like a truck had hit her. Now, this happened before. I cannot remember. This happened. I don't know if this was in martial arts, but this happened before where a woman tried to fight a dude and it ended up bad for her. So I'm just saying, Claressa Shield load. Yeah, I'm telling you, Vacito, you know Claressa Shield loads up a lot. And she loaded up on the punch that got her put on her ass. I'll say she loads up a lot sometimes, especially when she get ready. Like, I mean, she just loads up a lot, and she still ain't fixed that. So you don't think somebody like for real? You don't think somebody like Ryan Garcia or somebody like that would see that? They would make easy work of Claressa Shields and all this stuff about 98%. Like I said, you can't even beat 30% of the men in the world. So just stop the cap because you embarrassing yourself. You making a fool out of yourself. You hurting your legacy. You hurting your family's legacy. You disrespecting your father. You disrespecting your brothers. All the people that helped put you on. You disrespecting a lot of the black media that basically was talking about you and giving you high praises. But now you didn't turn on us for some reason. And once again, ain't nobody holding your black ass back. Like I said, I'm not being politically correct on this video. Claressa Shields can take it however she wants. because she need to be told this way. Hey, Claressa, because obviously you can't seem to talk logic to her. You can't seem to be sensible to her. So this is what she want to hear. So she gonna get it this way. Yeah, yeah, I knew it. That's yeah. She got stretched. Yeah, she got. I seen that video. I couldn't think of who it was, but this has already happened before. She got stretched. She got stretched. So that's what I'm saying. Claressa Shield fights at 160. You put Amari Jones in the ring with her, Claressa Shield, and he hit hard too. She ain't lasting. She ain't lasting a full round. He might toy with her. He might toy with her. He might just play around with her, but might have that knee jerk reaction. She might land a jab or might land a lead left, and then he might just have a knee jerk reaction, throw a hook, hit her flush. Next thing you know, she sleep. Or next thing you know, she in the same predicament as Pritchard Cologne. And I don't want to see that happen to Claressa Shields, but she need to shut that shit up. She need to shut it up. It's embarrassing. She need to stop it. She need to quit while she's ahead. Oh yeah, I remember $1 Million Baby with Clint Eastwood, Hilary Swank, and Morgan Freeman. One of my yeah, that movie was solid. Yeah, I remember that. That was just Hilary Swank one. Yeah. Well, I think eventually that is gonna happen. But see, the thing is, can she handle the aftermath of what happens when they have to wake her up with smelling sauce? She might be so embarrassed because she seemed to have fell apart based off just video coming out. So can you just imagine if she has an actual fight? And I'm gonna tell you guys right now, ain't nobody gonna sanction. I'm telling you right now, ain't none of the sanctioning bodies is gonna sanction a actual fight between a man and a woman because they know in all likelihood what will happen. When Ronda Rousey was talking this stuff about she can beat Floyd up and all this stuff, I just think she wanted to give Floyd the draw secretly. I just think she wanted to give Floyd the draws. Floyd would have beat the living hell out of Ronda Rousey, and then Heidi Holmes and then Amanda Nunes got a hold of her. Well, that was that. Got knocked out, I think, back to back. That was the end of her. Then she resorted to wrestling. Oh, I'm talking about Ronda Rousey. I mean, excuse me, Ronda Rousey. I mean, got knocked out in back-to-back fights, if I'm not mistaken. She was another one that was talking all that high-powered stuff and then got her ass stretched by two women back-to-back, but she thought she could do anything with Floyd. Like I said before, I just think she was trying to secretly, quiet as kept. I think she was trying to, give Floyd the draws. I think that's really what it was. She didn't want the money team. She wanted the money D. That's what it was. And then, like I said, and then you had Dana White like backing this stuff up. You had Dana White. Oh, she had ragged. No, she wasn't. Dana White. Floyd had beat the holy hell out of her. And she was clout chasing Floyd before that word became popular. She was clout chasing. And like I said, it backfired on her. And like I said, I don't know what type of clout Claressa Shields is chasing. She ain't clout chasing. She's sinking. Nobody is taking her serious. I done seen people that don't even really talk about boxing, just talking about how delusional she sounds. She just sounds delusional. Like I said before, Claressa Shields need to lay on that couch. She need for real. She need to seek therapy. She need to go lay on that couch. And somebody need to take her phone away. She need to deactivate her Twitter and her Instagram for the next couple of weeks. Because like I said before, I'm not worried about no interview with her because some of these boxers, I need to give y'all a news flash. It's some of y'all I ain't interested in talking to because there's quite a few boxers that I see. I don't go over there and talk to them. Don't have to. And Claressa Shields is one. I'm not going, if I see Claressa Shields at an event, I'm not going out of my way to talk to her. If she asks to talk to me, I may tell her no. So like I said before, if she think men is weak, this generation of men is weak, well, here's the end results of what happens when you raised by a single black woman. Men need their father. I know society try to tell black men that we're not a necessity and we're not needed, we're not welcome. That's bull. Well, we were her biggest fans. I don't see no like for real. How many of these female reporters have you seen asking for an interview with Claressa Shields? I don't see Jamel Hill asking to talk to her. I don't even know if they've ever did an interview together. You would think they would be doing an interview on a regular basis due to the fact that they both from Michigan. And another thing, like shout out to my man Justin. She need to understand something too. She from Flint. And I know for a fact that Flint is like an hour away from Detroit. And she needs to quit trying to act like she from Detroit. I know she from Flint. That's real talk. Flint is like, it's listed as her being from Flint, Michigan. And I know for a fact Flint is like a ways from because my boy Goodfellas Sports live out there. He said Flint is like and he said this came out of his mouth. He a Detroit dude. He said Claressa Shields ain't from Detroit, she from Flint. Now, one of my favorite rappers, and it was from Flint, Michigan. Shout out to the late great MC Breed, and shout out to the DFC who made one of the greatest albums ever in the 90s, Things in the Hood. You know what I'm saying? I know my hip hop, so if you ain't heard DFC Things in the Hood, that album is cold, top to bottom. Things in the Hood by the DFC. Nigga think he's bigger, bigger ditch. That was my joint. And shout out to the late MC Breed who dropped one of the greatest songs with one of the greatest Tupac verses ever. That's like my favorite song with Tupac. Gotta get mine, gotta get yours. So shout out to the late great MC Breed and shout out to the DFC. So there you have it. But that's what Flint is known for. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, having that terrible water, that orange water, I don't know. Maybe Claressa Shields got a sip of it and made some bad tea or something, and maybe it diluted her brain or something. I don't know. But something is not ticking. Something is not ticking in her head. I don't know. Like somebody need to do like a parody video, listen to her talk where they just flash like cuckoo birds and stars and you know what I'm saying, a bag of nuts and all that kind of stuff because I don't know. Homegirl need somebody to pray for her. I don't know. She really do. But anyway, you guys, I'm finna recharge. I'm definitely gonna talk about Tank Davis and his new excuses. And this is why I feel the way I feel about Al Heyman and the PBC, how they just be trying to shield their fighters from certain fights. There you have it. I'll be back in 20.